Hi Ubers, today I am bringing to you the card box tutorial that I promised a couple weeks ago, and I will show you what I am talking about. It is the card box for the standard size envelope, mailing envelope. And I make these cards following a tutorial on Babytweetums' YouTube channel, and I'll put her information in the description bar below. And she had come up with making cards for these envelopes because you can buy about, I'd say probably 80 to 100 in a box for about $1 or 97 cents at Walmart. So she had come up with the idea of using these normal size business envelopes so that we could use them up because, you know, now that times have moved on, a lot of us do our bills and our shopping and etc. online. So that would mean that these would just sit around and be collecting dust. So I decided to go ahead and make up a box, and actually she does a lot of box tutorials, but I have not seen yet a box, like I said, for these envelopes and for these cards that she had made up. So I am going to go ahead and get started on this tutorial, and I'm sorry that it's taking me so long, but better late than never, right? That's what I always say. Okay, so this is my first tutorial, so please be nice. And I hope I don't miss anything, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so, excuse me, what you'll want to start out with is basically just 2 sheets of paper. You can start out with 8.5 by 11, or you could start out with 12 by 12. It could be double-sided, it could be one-sided, it could be paper, it could be cardstock, it could be chipboard. But what you'll want to do is you'll want to take your first piece of paper and you'll want to cut it landscape style, 10.5 inches. And then you will flip it portrait style and you will cut it down to 7 7/8 inches. And that's going to be the bottom of our box. And the second sheet, you're going to want to cut landscape style 8 5/8 inches. And then you're going to want to flip it over portrait style and cut it to 6 inches. And that's going to be your top. So what I'm going to do is because I'm going to be creating a box with you today, so I'm going to actually cut down my 2 sheets of 110-pound manila cardstock by Neenan. And I like this because it's a nice thickness of a cardstock. You can hear that. Okay, so our first sheet is going to be cut down to 10.5 inches. Inches landscape style. Then we're going to flip it over portrait style and go 7 7/8 inches. Okay, so that's our first sheet. Our second sheet is 8 5/8 landscape style. And we'll flip it portrait style and go to 6 inches. So that's all we'll need: our cutting board, or our cutter, or paper trimmer. And then you'll want to get out your scoreboard of whatever type you have. I have the Martha Stewart scoreboard, so I'll put it right here. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll take your first sheet, which is your bottom, or whichever you want to do, and your bottom you're going to go around every 2 inches. So you're going to start out landscape style, go down 2 inches, flip it over portrait style, go down 2 inches, flip it over landscape style, go down 2 inches, and then flip it over portrait style, and go down 2 inches. Okay, so that is your bottom. And then your top, start out landscape style, and you're going to want to do your top every 1 inch. So go down 1 inch, flip it over portrait style, go down to 1 inch, flip it over landscape style, flip it over, and go portrait style 1 inch. Okay, so now we're done with the scoreboard. Now this is up to you, whatever you want to do. If you want to, you know, if you want to burnish, I believe, or basically take your full folder and make your edge nice and sharp. I think that's burnish. Anyways, you can see, I'm pretty for sure. Yeah, you can see the little lines, my score lines and everything. So what I do is I actually just keep everything straight right now. I don't, you know, go and burnish my score lines or anything like that. Okay, so what you want to do is you're going to either want to cut each end right here and then flip it over and then cut this end and then cut that end, or you're going to want to cut this end and this end and cut this end to that end. You're not going to want to cut this and that. Whoops, sorry. You're not going to want to cut this and that and then this and that, because you won't have a box, or you're just, yeah, you'll basically cut out your corner and you won't have like a corner. So I like to cut it right here and right here on my landscape style. So you might not be able to see this, but you go right along the inside of your score line, and then I kind of cut mine at an angle so it's a little bit easier. Whoops. I will put the information for Babytweetums channel in my description bar below. So you have that, okay? And then here's my bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to try to stay in camera, but it's a little hard. Anyways. over, landscape style again. Okay, so then I usually, now like I said, this, however you do the final part of this is basically up to you and how you choose to do it and how you prefer to do it. It's just whatever works easiest for you, basically. And I just choose just to keep it all flat because it's just easier for me. You'll see, all I'm going to do is I'm going to start sticking my double-sided tape on my corners. And you can actually use any adhesive of your choice. I'm just choosing to do the double-sided sticky tape because I really like double-sided sticky tape. I mean, I do have a wet glue that I like. It's the Scotch adhesive glue, but just for the sake of the video, I just want to go ahead and use my double-sided sticky tape. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I am. It's beautiful here. So now what you'll do is we are going to go ahead and take our double-sided sticky tape, or our, let's see, the backing off of it. This is always the tricky part. So, as some of you know, my mother-in-law's here, and she, whoops, well, okay, let's rewind here a little bit. Anna can't do two things at once. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and go and fold up on my sides. Should have done that before I pulled off the side of the sticky tape. And then we are just going to go and sides up together in the box. Side. That side. Okay, so we have the top. Move that out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and phone on my score line so that I don't have the same problem that I just did. This is really quick and simple. Just a little cute thing to kind of dress up the cards. It's a little bit different than just sticking it in a, you know, regular tiny see-through plastic bag. Nothing wrong with that, but just a little different way of dressing it up. Sometimes I get tired of just putting them in those plastic bags. I want to put them in a box so I can embellish them all up. Oops, getting stuck here. Trying to make this quick. I didn't want this to turn out to be a long video. I'm sure everybody knows how that goes. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting my sides together. And of course, off camera, or not on video, I would probably be doing this a lot neater, and it would probably turn out a lot better, of course. Okay, so here's my bottom. And there's the top. And unfortunately, I don't have any of these cards that Babytweetums has on her channel that she made a tutorial about, because I gave them all to my mother-in-law. But there you go, a very cute way to give your card sets away. So I hope you enjoy, and like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, have a great day.